fraud, and I'm sorry you spent your whole life, Dapper Dino, talking about dinosaurs, but they're fake, and it's boring, and I get it, but dude, you're LARPing, and I know that you see these bones and you think they're real, but they're not what they say they are, and even you admit when you go to the museum, they're replicas.
But you know what, I should have at least read papers before this. But what I'm going off of here, like here's one thing that bothers me, is that I am a flat earther, and I think that space is fake, and they say that dinosaurs were taken out by this massive asteroid. And so I'm coming into this knowing that an asteroid didn't come into Earth. So it's really, there's going to be different stalemates in this conversation because you believe in space and you believe that an asteroid could come into this, what I call an enclosed system. So it's like hard to, I want to know, like from your perspective, let's just say that you are going to agree, and I know that you absolutely do not, but let's just say that if it's impossible for an asteroid to have hit the Earth, then how would you explain how dinosaurs got wiped out? I want to just see what you can.
Well, my first point would simply be to say that dinosaurs haven't been wiped out. They remain one of the most successful groups of vertebrates in the entire world. You
mean like an alligator, right?
No. The alligators are not dinosaurs. Birds are, in fact, a group of dinosaurs.
Well, guys, it is a lot deeper than that. And with a lot of things, the dinosaur lie is meant to do a lot of things. It's meant to reinforce evolution. It's meant to make you feel insignificant, and it's meant to hide the existence of God. Now, I'm not a religious channel, but what it's done is dinosaurs, for lack of a better word, have aged the earth in a way that makes God impossible. And you say, what? That's really the plan. Why would somebody want to make God impossible? Well, it comes down to control. That's right. People use dinosaurs, this sounds nuts, follow me, to control us. Explain to me how you can take a tooth scientifically and know how big a creature's penis is or if it has a vagina or not. Because, like, my teeth are like this. How can you tell? Can you tell how big my penis is by looking at my teeth? How can you tell how big of a dinosaur's penis is if you could look at
also, guys, have you ever tried to imagine how certain dinosaurs can have sex with each other? If you take two, like, little action figures of dinosaurs, try and push them together, and there's just no way to make their genitals fit together.
Like a whale, you mean? How would a whale fit together?
All right, hold up. I think before we...
Hey, whales, it's good that you bring whales, because whales, I do agree, there's huge whales, so you could be looking at all kinds of whale bones.
Just a second, about the whales, I think that it would be much easier for their genitals to find each other because they're swimming in the water, and they can get into that position much easier because they're in the water.
Go watch The Mate. Go watch The Mate and come back and tell me that.
This brings the female back underwater, making it easier for him to perform the sperm delivery role. It's not an easy task. The female's belly up, keeping her private parts well away. So you need to not only have great range to get your supersized penis to the right area, but it then needs also to perform its sperm delivery role.
Dinosaur, that's right. He recreated this whole dinosaur from one tooth. Not only did he tell you how many nipples it had or how big of a wiener, or if it even had a wiener from this tooth, he told you exactly what it looked like, what its skull looked like, whether it had feathers or not, whether it was
from a mainstream source. That's what they're saying.
That's right.
So it's clearly copycat.
Photosynthesis. So they're saying it's part of the breakdown of plant life too, of organisms. So take it away, Dapper. Someone help me here.
No, hey, we're not here to argue about fossil fuels. I don't believe it came from dinosaur juice. I don't want to talk about dinosaurs. So Dapper Dan, I want to talk about the Archaeoraptor. That's the most recent dinosaur that was presented as real. And you brings me to the fossil fuel lie. The reason they want you to think that when you go to your Toyota and you put in a pterodactyl juice, because they want to make you think that it's expensive. They want to make you think it's finite. Guys, the dino lie, when you go and put gas in your Toyota Corolla, you're not putting T-Rex juice in there. But that's what they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you that, and they're going to tell you with a straight face because they're lying to you. They're manipulating you. And that's the same thing with Jurassic Park. That's the same thing with The Land Before Time. The thing is, people can make money off the illusions and the trickery of dinosaurs because nobody owns dinosaurs. It is what you call open property for people to exploit, and so they are going to exploit it. And we're going to see people like Dapper Dino, who's sounds very educated, knows a lot about dinosaurs. But I admit there are old bones. But if you think that these anatomically incorrect dinosaurs were sitting around and farting here and sharting each other, and you can tell me what color eyes it had by looking at a tooth, your science is incorrect. I'm going to stick my head up that bull's ass, and I am going to find out the truth because that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to look into the truth. And these dinosaurs are bull crap because I've stuck my head up the bull's ass. I've looked into it. So
all a conspiracy. Somebody has gone around and covered this earth with all of these skeletons. and they're just waiting for people that are in on the hoax to dig them up. Like, this is some really far out there thinking. And wow, I thought the flat Earth would be the plateau, but yeah, apparently you can get a little higher here. So continue on with the back and forth. I digress too.
We can get way higher, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for your opening statements. We'll go into open dialogue.
How many thousands of hours, man-hours, do you think is put into pulling a Tyrannosaurus Rex fossil completely out of stone? What would you even guess? Do you have any idea? Because I don't.
It would take the same amount of time to pull an old cow bone or an old elephant bone. The same amount.
No, a full-size.
It doesn't matter the type of bone if it's in rock, guys. It takes the same amount of time if it's an old petrified cow or an old petrified alligator as if it's a dinosaur. It takes the same amount of time to get out of rock.
We don't find old petrified cows. That's where you're wrong.
Well,
So,
we do find
it's not a
petrified
bone.
bison.
We're
pulling rock.
It, Mark. You're wrong.
Oh my God! Can you stop? Can anyone mute him? He's like Trump. So we're not pulling bones out of rock. We're pulling rock out of rock.
Yeah, maybe you guys can both stop over talking each other, and maybe get Rose to weigh in here as well.
I'll use the restroom.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from Rose.
Well, I have a question, Dapper Dino. You were talking
Please
about
ask.
how they would, because seriously, I am here to learn. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a debate and stuff, but there's some, okay, you said that you would be allowed to go in and examine the bones that I thought were under lock and key and not available to just the regular people. Have you done that? Have you personally gone in and examined the real dinosaur bones that they have in the back room?
I have gone in to examine backroom fossils in a museum. I was actually looking at turtles and camels from North America's Paleogene. So, not Paleogene, but sorry, I can't remember. Cenozoic is not my thing. But anyway, so they were not specifically the dinosaur bones. But yes, I have been to the back room of museums into their storage areas to see some of the some of the fossils that are not on display. Also, if you want to see dinosaur bones that are not technically on display, the Fossil Preparation Lab in Denver, Colorado, they have viewing windows, so you can watch them preparing. When I was last there, the main thing that they were preparing was they were removing the matrix from a new Triceratops find, and so up front was in fact the occipital horns of a large Triceratops that were currently being on display, and I had to stop my niece from grabbing at it because she liked to grab through the windows of this thing, which were actually just open. There's no physical barrier for most of the area, so I had to pull her back and nope, don't reach your hands into the area with the active power drills and Dremels and people in lab coats. Please do not do that. So that was adorable. But yeah, so I have in fact been to the back room of museums to take a look at some of the fossils that are not on display. And some of them may never be, because most people are like, what's the point of looking at a fragmentary turtle carapace? Well, to scientists, there's a big point to it. But to the public, I get why that might not be exciting.
I would be more interested in looking at a turtle because I feel like that's more based in reality. I see, here's the thing, is I know that they might let you go back and touch them and look at them, but when are they going to let an independent researcher who's not part of the university system take a sample and run our own independent tests? I doubt that they would let us do that, huh?
Well, if you made a proposal to have particular tests done, even from an outside perspective, that has been allowed. For instance, in fact, even sometimes very valuable specimens.
For every single person trying to talk is making this excruciatingly painful, even for me. Can you just let them talk, man? And you can call them bro in the middle, but let them talk, please.
Right,
all right,
Elvis,
bro.
I will.
Talk, sorry, bro. Sorry, bro.
Let them talk.
So, to summarize, because it was very difficult, I think, for people to hear, the majority of dinosaurs in museums are in fact real, because the majority of them are not on display and are in fact in various catalogs in drawers of various sizes. Isn't an original dinosaur, then what is it?
I can shit in a box and tell you it's a replica of another turd, but I'm not an idiot. A replica is not an original, bro. And you can just say this is a replica of an original and never show the original, dude. So your argument is stupid. You have to admit
that wasn't my argument. Could you please not strawman my argument?
I mean, okay, well, let's just admit that an original and a replica are not the same thing. Can we admit that, Dapper?
That is true. A replica represents the original and is based on
The
it.
majority of dinosaurs in museums are replicas. The majority of dinosaurs they present are fake. They present it as real, and that's what I'm getting at. What we are presented is fake. These are replicas. And you can say that they're replicas of real things, but I don't believe it. There's too few of them. It's too easy to cheat this thing. And so when the game's rigged and you look at the museum industrial complex and the money they make from this fake bullcrap, it's a business at this point. And guys like you, they get to LARP, live action role play, and fantasize about these dinosaurs. Bro, these are mythological creatures, and that there are creatures that are talked about, dragons and all these other things are more real than your dinos, than your Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I know that's hard to take because you say you've seen these bones, but when you look at even recent...
Because you're so well-versed in anatomy and those kinds of things, I just want to recommend my friend's channel, which is so interesting, and I would love in the future to know your take on his theories. And they're just theories, of course, and the channel is Stellium7, and he actually will compare these massive, huge mountains and rocks to, like, elephant anatomy, and it's just mind-blowing, and it will definitely, like, it's just, I find it really fascinating. So I just wanted to suggest that you look into that stuff too, that like maybe there are some big mountains that are actually really, really old, massive elephants.
Awesome, guys. So we're going to get into the super chats now. That was
have to put these Frankenstein dinosaurs in display, and they present them as real. So that means when you go to the museum, you're looking at a lie. Boom, you lost the debate. Dinosaurs at the museums are a lie.
No, a lie is an intentional attempt to deceive.
They're misrepresented. Dinosaurs are misrepresented. He admitted it. It's a lie.
He didn't. He admitted.
Yes, he did.
Admitted.
He said he added some head to another.
Can you let
dinosaur.
other people
No, hey, I would like my
please?
dinosaurs to match. I'm sorry, Mark. When I go to the museum, I'd like my dinosaurs to match. But is that too much to ask for?
What would you like them to match with?
I would like
No,
to
but
have
it's
the
not
right head because
too
it's
much
fake.
to
Y'all
ask
can't
to be
match
allowed
it.
to speak. Can we speak? Do we
So,
make
Alex,
mistakes? Absolutely, we make mistakes. Anyone can go down and watch a rocket get launched, and we've seen them blow up off of the launch pad. Humans make mistakes. That doesn't mean that the Earth's not a globe. We make mistakes. The same thing. Have
and
we
this
made
argument-
mistakes? We've been putting dinosaurs together now for over 100 years, and we made mistakes at the beginning. And you know who found them? We found them, not Dr. Dino. We found them,
Speaking of that, Mark,
and
why
we
were we the
fixed
first
it.
people to find them? Why didn't these ancient species have a bunch of dinosaurs? Like, you know, why is there a
Ancient
dinosaur
cultures,
park?
not ancient species. Why
Whatever,
didn't ancient
ancient
cultures? There are so many tribes and cultures all over the world, and they don't make any mention of anything related to dinosaurs. If they're so easy to find everywhere, then how come we don't have like old Native American myths and stories talking about finding dinosaur bones?
Well, you know,
We do.
interestingly enough, we do. Yeah, there are a
do.
number of...
million years, 60 million years. We're only going back 25,000 years. But still, it's pretty incredible to think that the fur is still there. The follicles are still there.